Shashi, once we, go beyond the everyday living, we start thinking a little about spirituality. The fundamental thing or fundamental word that comes up all the time is self-realization. Now, what is this self and what is realization?
Knowing oneself is the core of spirituality.
Okay.
Self-realization.
Sorry. So knowing oneself, you mean to tell, how do you put it across? Knowing oneself.
Yeah. See, oneself has 5 dimensions. The outer dimension and are the superficial dimension, what everybody experiences. The inner dimension, which we call it as ever-present self. The outer self, where the superficial dimension, we experience body self as physical body, mind self as a psychological self, then emotion, then echo self. This is something new. What is echo self? Echo self means, see, in the environment, if I take a deep breath, we are inhaling 10 to the power of 22 number of atoms.
Okay.
Trillions of atoms from the cloud. Trillions of atoms from the trees in the form of oxygen, so many things.
Yes.
Trillions of atoms from the soil. We think we are separate.
No.
See, self-realization here, we say echo self means yourself. There is no separation. Separation causes suffering. So, echo self is a new thing which comes in the self-realization.
Okay.
Then one more thing is ever-present self. Self always exists. Actually, the atomic stuff, what we call it as, this body will die, mind also dies, emotions also will die, ecosystem also will die. But there is something, the inner truth or atomic stuff, which is always there inside, that we call it as ever-existing self.
Okay.
That pure self.
Okay.
That's a fundamental reality.
Okay.
From there, all other things emerge. That's what I was...
So all of the things is, whether it is body or mind or emotion or ecology, everything emerges out of this.
Pure self.
Okay.
Pure self or ever-existing self.
Okay.
We call that as an inner presence, where there's no time and space there, actually. So you cannot calculate with the matter and waves in there, because it is beyond time and space, beyond matter and energy.
Okay. So it is beyond time and space, beyond matter and energy. And it is, I think, where if we stop all our thoughts, everything, I think it begins.
Thought comes from the mind. So
Yes.
it's not there.
Okay. So
That is your real state. That's the beauty of it. So, the 5 dimensions understanding is knowing oneself.
Okay. So self-realization.
Yeah, like body. Body, if we go deep inside, it's made up of different organs, skin, few cells. If we go deep inside, it is made of, nucleus. Then inside we say nucleic acids, DNA, RNA, molecules, ultimately atoms.
Okay.
So, outside, periphery of the body is made of the crystallization of the inner atomic stuff only.
Okay. Okay.
So, the pure self is the inner truth.
Okay.
Outer truth is the body.
Okay.
Basically, there's no difference actually. It's a crystallization of that inner self itself has created this a periphery.
Okay.
So there is periphery, there is center. The psychology is periphery, center is pure self.
Okay.
Like that, the emotions are periphery, self is inside. Pure self is inside. So all the 4 dimensions, it appears different. That is because of our programming, the brain starts identifying, and we forget our real state, how we were in the intrauterine life or before this birth and death. The birth and death,
Yes.
body and comes and goes. But there is a presence. That presence was always there. That's why soul do not have birth and death. That's what our Hindu
Yes.
scripture says. So it's always there, ever existing self, which is inner self.
Inner self, which is always there, which is always was, which will always will be there.
Yeah.
So maybe the body goes, the mind goes, everything goes, but that is ever present all the time, and
Yeah.
that is why I think ever present, the word ever present, the presence is always there, beyond time and space. Okay, that's very interesting. And
So realization of the self is realizing that we have a center, we have a periphery.
Okay.
Periphery, we have a body. The center, we have a pure self,
yes.
which is atomic stuff. Outside psychology is periphery, center is pure self. Emotions outside, inside, pure self. Ecosystem is outside, inside. That's why our, Bhuta Akasha, they say, out of five Panchabhutas,
Yes.
Akasha is inside. Gata Akasha, Gata is outside,
Akasha
Akasha is
inside.
inside.
Okay.
Chitta Akasha, thoughts are outside, inside.
Okay.
Then Bhavakasha, we say. Emotions are outside, inside. So basically, you are like Akasha, where there is no time and space. The time and space has created out of this matter and waves and this physical world. Because of sun, there is a calculation. So hence, the pure self we need to understand. This is a fundamental reality.
Okay.
That is what we are. That's why the transient journey we have taken on this planet in the form of body, mind and emotions with the ecosystem.
Okay. So as you say, whether you talk it as Bhutakasha, everywhere there is Akasha, the limitless space or
Inside,
limitless, which is
inside.
there always.
Always.
So realizing self or self-realization means that once we understand what is that inner self, we will know how to do our daily chores in the normal day-to-day living. Okay, so thank you so much, Doctor. Thank you very much.